we'll get a microphone to you here.
I'm sorry, anyway. Stacy?
Just assess your team's play today.
I was really proud of our effort. We're only a few plays away from knocking off a really good football team at their home place. And certainly, we're disappointed with the loss. Disappointment is an emotion, and we'll get over that. But we have nothing to be discouraged about. Discouragement is a state of mind, and we have nothing to be discouraged about. Really encouraged about our effort. Really encouraged about the way we came to play. I thought that our defense rallied up several times. Our offense was 3 and out more times than we'd like in the second half, and I think our defense continued to show up and give us a chance to win. And then throughout the course of the game, when we had to, our offense got it done and got us in position to win the game. So disappointed with the loss. We didn't do a very good job defending their rollout protection. I thought that really serviced them well today. They have a young quarterback, and I thought he did a heck of a job. I think he's going to be a real star in the future, but I thought their rollout protection impacted their ability to move the football some today. We had a stupid, manufactured a stupid pick or a stupid interception, if you will. It was careless. That impacted the ball game some. We bid on a play action pass. They hit a big pass down the field on us. That impacted the ball game some, but even with all that, I thought that our team rose to the occasion and fought really hard, and I think we showed great promise. And as a football team, I think we're going to do very well this season.
Coach, were you expecting Notre Dame to come out and throw quite as much as they did, or especially early in the game?
I had talked to the defensive staff, and we weren't sure because they ran it in an inordinate amount of times last week, but I assumed they wouldn't come out and try to just run the ball at us. I think we're too big and strong for someone to come out and just run the football at us. They do it maybe more times consecutively in a row early in the game than I had anticipated, but I thought they would come out and try to manufacture the passing game early to loosen us up some, and then they tried to come back and manufacture the run game, and without a whole lot of success. They had some good running plays, but I thought our defensive front shut down their run game for the most part today. So I think out of necessity, they probably knew they had to try to throw it today.
Danny,
Hey.
you didn't have Ricardo on the field there for that last drive that Notre Dame went down and scored the field goal. Was he injured or just on the sideline?
He's just on the sideline.
Just a performance deal?
Coaching decision.
Thanks.
Danny, to your left, the rotating quarterbacks to your left.
Okay.
The rotating quarterbacks worked reasonably well today. I just wonder, do you want to get to a point in this season where you can commit to one guy or the other, or are you satisfied with doing it this way?
We're always going to play more than one quarterback. We've had this conversation many times. We don't want the number one quarterback to go down and have to wave a white flag right in the middle of the game or right in the middle of the season. I thought the classic example today was when Robert Mark went down and Caleb Turbush came back in the game and put us in position to potentially go into overtime. We're going to play the guys that can help us win. If it's one quarterback, that's fine. If it's two, that's fine. If it's three, that's fine. If it's four, we'll do whatever it takes in order for us to win.
Dan, you scored right at the end of the first half, and then the third quarter seemed a little sluggish by your team, and you spent a lot of time in camp trying to prepare for that. Just what'd you see out of your team that led to some of that in that third quarter?
I don't know what led to it. I think Notre Dame played a little better in the third quarter than we did, and maybe we're a fourth quarter team, and we'll hang our hat on that. But I'm not going to assume that we're jinxed or inadequate because we didn't play as well early in the third quarter today. I think it was just part of the game. They're a good football team with a lot of good players, and we're at their place, and that's a challenge regardless of what quarter it is.
Just any update on Robert Marv and his
Not
injury?
yet. Yes, sir. There you go.
Danny, your field position was huge today to help you, I think, quite a bit. Webster's punting was excellent, and McCartney stepped up, made that big field goal. Would you talk about how the play of your specialists and your special teams, including Mosert's return?
Well, we're geared, and our commitment is to have special teams be our edge. We have a full-time special teams coordinator, one of the top instructors of specialists in the nation. We invest a few more scholarships in specialists, and so we should have an edge in regards to special teams. Raheem Mosher is a very special player. He led the nation in kickoff returns last year, and he's probably leading the conference right now. He was after the first week. He's a fantastic player. Cody Webster has a very, very strong leg. He led the nation in punting for about 7 or 8 games last season, so I'm not surprised to see him punt really well today. And Sam has done very well throughout the course of camp. We didn't ask him to kick any record field goals, but the ones that we asked him to kick, he was exact on. So I didn't see anything happen today in special teams that we haven't, been geared for or made a commitment to. We go into every ball game with the commitment and belief that special teams is going to be our edge.
Coach, I know you're familiar with Tommy Reese. Can you talk about your impression of him today when he came in on the last drive and just your team's playing the last drive?
Well, I thought that was a really good decision by their head coach. It was a pressure situation, and certainly would have been a tough assignment for a rookie quarterback. I was kind of excited about the idea of maybe having the rookie quarterback in there on the last drive. I thought that may have given us an opportunity to get after him some and get ourselves in a position to win. So I thought it was a good coaching decision. And Tommy Reese is a good player. He's a heck of a quarterback, too. We didn't play as well as we needed to there on the final drive. And hats off to Notre Dame. They played better than we did right there at the end of the ball game.
Danny, since Robert led you that touchdown drive right before half, did you consider sticking with him to start the second half, and why the decision to go back to Caleb?
Well, Caleb had started the first half, and we were going to play both of the quarterbacks a significant amount in the second half. Again, coming out of camp, Caleb was number 1 and had really managed the offense very well. It was tied up, and so we wanted to start off, successful, in the second half, and it was a decision that we made, and I don't think that should be a surprise to anyone. I thought they both did some good things today. We have 2 really good senior veteran quarterbacks, and they both play well when called upon.
Danny, on Notre Dame's last drive, there was a play, it looked like the play clock might have been at 0. Did you notice that at all? Was there any talk on your sideline about it?
Well, there was some talk on our sideline. I was watching the game, and I saw the quarterback try to call a timeout, and I wasn't sure if he didn't know whether or not they were out of him or if he was calling a fake timeout to try to get our defense off guard. But our coaches were talking about the time had expired, but the officials said they disagreed.
Coach, over here to your left.
Okay.
You called timeout, but your last timeout right before the extra point.
Yep.
Did you consider going for 2, or what went into that timeout?
We wanted to make sure that we didn't get the extra point blocked. We knew on that drive that we were in overtime mode, if you will. We were going to take 4 downs and go for a touchdown. We were going to kick a field goal and try an onside kick. We weren't going to do any of that. We were in overtime mode. Last year, we were in a similar situation against Ohio State, and we lined up and blocked their extra point, and it went into overtime. So I wanted to make sure that everyone had a chance to catch their breath, remind them of having proper splits. I didn't want Notre Dame to come off the edge of a short corner if the lineman didn't get the proper splits. Remind them how important this extra point was, and have a chance to make sure we had the best protection that we could across the front, because we were fixing to go into overtime.
And you touched on it briefly about the play of your front. I think they rushed 36 times for 52 yards. You had 5 sacks. Short had a couple. Those guys played a significant amount of downs, but really did a nice job. Just talk a little bit about how well they played.
We have a very good defensive front, and fortunately we have enough guys that we can rotate and keep them fresh. And it's just part of the master plan. As you all well know, the Giants have a very good defensive front, and they rotate their defensive front, and it was a difference maker in them winning a Super Bowl and being a great football team. And we have a chance to do the same with our defensive front, keep guys fresh, rotate them and roll them throughout the course of the game. If we didn't have as many, then we wouldn't be as good. But we have, half a dozen really good defensive linemen, and that's just the strength of our football team. We do that going into the season.
One more?
Danny, the drops, especially the ones there by the tight ends in the first half, and then I think Ross had one as well. Just, is that something you've seen in practice, or do you have any reason why it happened today?
I haven't seen a whole lot of drops in practice, but sometimes they catch them all in the games, and sometimes they don't. It's not the first time a guy dropped the pass in a football game. We dropped a few more today than we'd have liked to. We're usually a little more sure-handed in that. But I think we have good receivers, and they're usually very sure-handed. But we dropped a couple today. Absolutely.
Last one right here.
Danny, Josh Johnson, 9 tackles, got fumbled there at the end, but tough assignment. He seemed like Eifert was down the middle of the field. Was Josh assigned to him, and did he have kind of an up and down day?
I don't know if he had an up or down day or not until we look at the film, but Eifert is a fantastic player, certainly one of the best players at his position, on a national level. He's a great player, and he's our go-to guy, and I don't know how many passes he caught today, but we knew coming in he's going to catch some, and we had some plan to try to take him out. Josh defended some passes against him as well, but he certainly is a great player, and we knew he's going to make some plays today.
Thank you. Purdue players will be outside the locker room.
Thanks, guys.